Hello and welcome back to Gray's Gardening. I am Gray. So today I thought I'd take advantage of the beautiful blue sky, nice weather, get down to the allotment to do a big job that I've had on my list now for quite a while. And as you can imagine, if you can guess, it is to clean the greenhouse. So I want to get inside. Okay, so greenhouse is quite messy at the moment. The floor is covered in leaves and other mess, and the panes themselves, I think you can see a good example here, are very dirty inside and out. So it's my intention to clean everything out. So I'm going to remove every pot that's currently in here, everything that's in here that shouldn't be, take up that weed control fabric, maybe do a bit of weeding, clean all the glass, and then show you how I get on. Right, the sun has well and truly come out now, and as you can imagine, inside the greenhouse it's getting a bit warm, so I might even be able to take my jacket off. Anyway, that's all the main pots gone. Let's have a little look and see what's next. I can see what I'm working with now. The weed control fabric's actually done better than I thought, so there's not too many weeds left for me to dig out of here, but I think I'm going to rake it all out, then weed it, and then I'll make a start on the panes of glass. I think you can see at the back here exactly just how dirty this is, especially with the sun on it now, so that needs a good clean inside and out. That's it all brushed out and raked. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. Already starting to look a lot tidier, a lot neater. So I'm now going to do some weeding. There's a fair few weeds already coming through. I'll weed those out, get rid of them, and then we're going to be onto the glass. Now it's time to get cleaning the glass. So I've brought down hopefully you can see that, let me turn that around. I brought down a bowl. Filled it with a bit of cold water. I've also then brought down a flask full of hot water. Pour that in, so hopefully I'll have nice warm water. I'm going to pop in a little touch of washed up liquid. Not too much, just enough to give it a good clean. The washing up liquid itself won't do any harm to any plants inside the greenhouse, sorry. So there's my soapy warm mixture. Let's get cleaning. That's it, cleaned inside and out. And now time for the final job. Probably the most enjoyable job of the lot. To give it all a nice good rinse. That'll get rid of all the bubbles that was left over from the washing up liquid, and hopefully, because it's not too hot at the moment, stop the streaks from forming. So I'll go around, clean it all, give it a good rinse inside and out, and then I'll show you the final. I'm quite impressed with that. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought it would, but most jobs normally do. So let's just have a little look around. So now I've got the whole greenhouse nice and clean. I've noticed that just in between the panes of glass, just where they overlap, there's more dirt and debris caught down there. And one little trick I've found is to use an old plant label, and if you just push on slightly, you can just slide that down and it'll allow us to push all that through. So I'm just going to make my way round. Hopefully you can see that, and it's a bit tricky and you've got to be careful. You don't want to push on the glass too hard, but we just get that in between. That should be able to just slide through most of these little areas, and you can scrape that debris out. So I'm going to make my way around the whole greenhouse and do that little trick for you there. Just use an old plant label. Final job I've noticed is in the guttering. There's lots of debris built up. Most of this is sycamore seeds or helicopters, whatever you want to call them, and they're all blocking my gutters. Now if I just zoom out, I'm going to be doing a video on this shortly, which will be a new guttering system right around the entire greenhouse. It's going to come right along here and go along the back and into my water butt. I'm going to have that going all the way round, both sides, all feeding into the water butt, so when it rains the water butt fills up. And then, I don't know if you can see this here, this is my solar powered watering system that comes off the water butt and actually waters the greenhouse when I'm not here for me. Once a day, waters everything inside via solar. I'll be doing a full video on this. I'll be replacing that and getting a new one for this summer and showing you exactly how to fit that. So back around here, I'm just going to use my old trusty plant label again, but you could use a stick or anything just small and sturdy enough to get in here and just scrape all of that out. Just go around doing that everywhere, and then I'll turn the hose on it and give it a good flush through. I have noticed that some of these panes of glass, as you can see, has actually slipped, so that's not going to be collecting any water in that gutter. So I don't know whether you can see just up at the top, that's now formed a gap, which again is now going to let rain inside the greenhouse. So I need to move some of these panes up. There's quite a few of them that have slipped down now, this one as well, and also that one's cracked, so I'm going to have to replace that one. That cracked because I allowed the grapevine to grow through, pushed against it and cracked. So good greenhouse management is always key to keeping your greenhouse in a good state and the plants inside growing well. I've actually got a build up of moss along some of the rims, and now I could scrape it off with my plant label, but I don't think it does any harm on the outside, and if anything it helps keep these pieces of glass a little bit more secure. I know we've got these little clips, whatever they're called, Z clips, but I actually don't mind the moss on the outside just for that extra security. I know it's a bit dark, but that is layers of moss, so I'm going to leave that there. I'll take off if it gets if there's any excess. There's a good lump of moss there, but it just helps keep that grass in place a bit better, so I'll leave that. I think I'll leave that there. Right, I think you can see the glass is now clear again. There's more light going to be getting into it this year. It's much more hygienic because all the muck and dirt and grime and everything else is being cleaned off it. The raised beds have been weeded, and they're going to be ready for crops to go in the next few months. So I hope you can tell the difference. Just before I go, there will be a new video coming up soon about how I'm going to deal with this lemon tree. As mentioned before, he's really not looking very well, and I'm going to try and nurse him back to life this year. So I'm going to now put all the pots back in, but on that note, I want to say thanks for watching. Hopefully it's given you a few ideas for this weekend or this week. If you are going to clean your greenhouse in the UK, do it soon, because the growth, especially if you've got a grapevine, that'll start to grow soon, and it'll be more difficult to clean after that. So think about getting it cleaned sooner rather than later, but you do still probably have a few more weeks left. So thanks for watching. If you've got any friends who might like this kind of video, please forward it on to them, and please remember to subscribe. Drop me some comments down below, like the video, and turn on your notifications. Thank you all, see you soon.